by Solarian Games. We are your hosts.
Oh, I'm Jason. That's who I am.
Yeah, and I'm Peter. And I said that all wrong. So that's why I
That's
messed
okay.
Jason up.
You confused me. We are the partners of Solarian
We are
Games. That's who we are.
Yeah, that's who us.
All right. What else you got to say, Peter?
Okay, so we got some stories this week. Some good ones. We got Dungeons and Dragons teams up with New Holland for a new beer. Tariffs. Oh my God, tariffs. De minimis exemption ended, affects individual game orders entering the U.S. New official D&D Table of Adventure arrives from Game Theory. We're going to talk about the RPG that kicked D&D's ass in Japan and invented actual play is coming to the West. Let's see. Oh, and we got a whole bunch of like little stories kind of compiled into one. Feel the Pirates Queen Wrath and more with this week's 5e compilation. And then we're going to wrap it up tonight with NPR did a story on Dungeons and Dragons. So, it's got to be getting big now. NPR's talking about it, about how it's in the stadium era.
Stadium era. Look at that.
I thought we were in the Holocene, but apparently we're in the stadium era.
No, this is the Dungeon Assassin.
Right. All right. So let me show some images here. So we're going to start with some alcohol.
Yeah. And I don't hate it.
Okay.
Yeah. You're telling us about this one, aren't you?
Oh, am I? Okay. Yeah. I think that's
right.
I think we talked about that. Yes. All right. So as a new release this month, New Holland Brewing is launching the Dragon's Milk Coconut Rum Barrel Reserve, inspired by the dragon turtle from D&D universe. That's pretty cool. It's a beer style and flavor profile. This limited edition release is an imperial stout aged in rum barrels infused with rich coconut flavor. Holy crap. Yeah. Okay. When I first saw this, I was thinking, because I didn't read the whole thing yet, I'm thinking coconut rum. I don't like coconut rum that much.
No.
I really don't.
Coconut rum.
But you're talking about a stout that's got
not just a stout, an imperial stout, the king of stouts, the emperor of stouts. My favorite beer style. Yes.
All right. You know I like that piss water, but I do also like an imperial stout.
I'm telling you, before I looked into what this beer was, I thought this was going to be the story where I make fun of you for drinking wheatgrass.
Right.
But
well, I do, but I like all kinds of beers.
Joy of joys, it's not an IPA. They actually, I'm amazed. They actually went with something hardcore. They went with an imperial stout, the most hardcore of beers. Nice. A good imperial stout is one where if you hold a flashlight on the other side of the glass, you do not see through it. You don't see the light. That's imperial stout. Now, I have never. No, okay. So imperial stout is usually aged in some type of a wooden barrel. Sometimes in Scotch barrels and things like that. I've never had one aged in a rum barrel. Could be good. But they say infused with rich coconut flavor. So I'm going to have to withhold judgment on that because I've never had a coconut infused anything beer wise.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound good to me, but I don't think they would just do it without reason. So
yeah, for some reason it seems to work for me because I'll tell you, I had I was in Germany. First time I went to Germany for work. The first time I went to Germany, period. The first time I went there for work. It was really popular at that time, banana beer, like banana flavored beer.
Okay.
And I thought, all right, what the hell? Everybody else is drinking. And it was so goddamn good. I had no idea it would be that good. It was delicious. So I can see coconut working. I mean, I can. Totally can.
Okay. I mean, it may very well work. Okay, so I see here it's got an ABV, that's alcohol by volume, of 11%. So,
oh Christ, take it easy, folks.
22 proof. So sounds like a lot for a beer, but I'll tell you that's actually pretty low for an imperial stout.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. So my favorite imperial stout is by Firestone Walker Brewery out of somewhere in California. And theirs is a 13.8% ABV.
Ooh. All right.
And they come in a bottle that's like this big. So when I have one of those, forget about it.
Yeah. We'll have to look it up because I think there is at some point where it goes from being a beer to a barley wine. So
Okay.
I can't remember what it is. It's like legal definition, like there's some percentage where it stops being a beer and it becomes what's called a barley wine.
Okay, I've no idea. But the thing about ABV is, it's not about like, oh, it's got a lot of alcohol in it, I'm going to get drunk. That's absolutely not the point. The point is that as the ABV goes up, the flavor comes out better.
Yes, yes,
So
flavor, it
it's
does.
about the flavor,
Right.
So just have less of it is all.
Yeah, sip it, enjoy it,
Sip it.
don't
Yeah,
chug
well,
it.
oh my god, you couldn't. I mean, an
Right.
imperial stout is so thick. So, I mean, these guys, I don't know what it means to team up with Dungeons and Dragons for a beer. I don't know. Does it mean that it's going to be at every gaming convention? Does it mean that I have no idea what it means, but good choice.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So it says it's going to be available in 12-ounce bottles and on tap. Oh, interesting. Okay. This special brew can be found at select retailers and within New Holland's own tap rooms. Well, New Holland's it's not like a weird rare beer. New Holland's everywhere.
I don't know New Holland. Maybe I've had their stuff and I just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they're not like the biggest beer company in the world, but they're everywhere. They're around.
I mean, I'm a beer lover for specific types of beers, and there's a few breweries that if you mention them to me and I know them, I'm going to be all about it. But it's a really small number of breweries. I don't know New Holland or lots of them, so they might be great, but I just don't know them.
Right, right.
But it does say that there's more to it, right?
It says a continuation of a growing collaboration. This follows New Holland's D&D themed releases from 2024, which I did not know about, including the Coconut Rum Barrel Reserve. They like the coconut rum, huh?
Okay,
and high octane D20 brew that is bourbon aged stout. Wow, all right,
bourbon barrel aged stout.
They're going for hefty beers, man.
That's good. I mean, it was a Scotch ale that first got me into drinking anything. I guess you'd call it craft beers. And just because I was working somewhere, staying at a hotel while I worked, spending time in the hotel bar, and they had growlers of things that they did. And I knew I liked Scotch, but he said, well, we have Scotch ale. I'm like, well, what the heck is that? And he explained it. It's right. Aged in Scotch barrels and blah, blah, blah. Completely won me over, and it got me looking for stuff like this. And so that's kind of where my path began. So whenever something's, bourbon barrel aged, Scotch barrel aged, that sounds great.
Yeah, the first time I had a really powerful beer like that was this stuff called Colossus.
Okay.
And it was by Brewer's Art, which is a local Maryland, like a Baltimore brewery. And it was at this one, the Timonium Beer Festival, and or Oktoberfest. And yeah, my wife, I had to carry her out because she didn't realize. She was like, "This is so good," and I took my eyes off of her. And when I looked back, whatever that time dilation that happens at a beer festival, I looked back and it was gone. And I was like, uh-oh. And she's like, what? I was like, you do know what you were just drinking. She's like, yeah, it's pretty strong, right? I'm like, oh boy. So, so yeah.
By the way,
go ahead.
On the ABV of this, so this is an 11% ABV. And I mentioned that the one I like is a 13.8% ABV. So, yesterday we were out somewhere and all they had was Guinness. And I'm like, okay, I'll have a Guinness. And I was like, gosh, it seems kind of watery. I haven't had one in a long time. And I just looked it up, 4.1% ABV.
Oh yeah, Guinness is not strong at all.
Yeah,
it's just, it's just heavy.
If you go out drinking in Ireland and you ask somebody, are you drinking tonight? Nah, I'll just have a Guinness. I'm not drinking. Just give me a Guinness. So
yeah. It's more like a meal.
Yeah, it could be thicker. That's all I can say.
That's true.
But this is good. I can't wait for this.
All right, let's go on. That's fun news. Now we have fun news.
More stuff to hit your wallet. Okay, this one is to hit your wallet very directly. It doesn't matter if you are a publisher or not. The tariff de minimis exemption has ended. So the de minimis exemption basically said the tariffs get charged when you're a manufacturer bringing in a large amount of stuff, but they don't get charged when you're an individual consumer buying one thing from an overseas store. And the de minimis exception was anything under $800. So that way, I guess if you were buying some high-end clothing or maybe a chair or something, you could bring one in for yourself. And that's been ended in the ongoing war that nobody asked for. So now, if you buy anything that gets shipped from overseas, even if it's just one book or one game, you personally get to pay an extra tax on it. So, and here's the thing: it was really hard. I was trying to figure out. I was going to say, well, here's how much tax you're going to pay on it. I thought you could just Google what's the tariff. No, oh my gosh, it is the hardest question in the world to answer. It took me literally an hour of searching and reading, and I think I got this right. And what I'm going to say right now, full disclosure, might be wrong, but I think it's right from everything that I've read. So here's where we are, if I'm right. At the moment, you're paying about 40% tax on anything coming from China right now. So that's
Jesus.
10% global baseline duty. So everything starts with at least 10%, and then they stack another 30 on top of it. This is supposedly the pause period, the period when we're getting a break. Oh, you're only paying 40% tax. The pause ends in 2 days, August 12th. Nobody seems to know what's going to happen. So either they're going to extend the pause, or they're going to negotiate some new lower rate, which nobody seems to be predicting, or they could actually revert all the way up to triple digit levels. It was at 145% at one point. There's just no way to predict. So the important thing is that if you bought something for under $800, that didn't matter to you. And the way you would usually do that, it's going to be if you're buying something from, let's say, what is the new thing? Not Wish, but
Temu.
Temu. Yeah. So if you buy something from Temu, it's shipped from China. You get, the super cheap stuff. I bought some dice. I bought some RPG dice to put in at game conventions. We have a big vending machine, so we can let people buy dice, and I was able to get them super cheap, so we could afford to put them in the vending machine and charge people only $5 for a bunch of dice. It was great. Couldn't do that now. You'd have to pay whatever the new fee is going to be for that. Or if maybe, let's say you're buying from some manufacturer or some game producer who figured we'll just keep all our stuff warehoused in China and ship them one at a time from China. Nope, can't do that. You're going to hit with the fee. Yeah. So now basically what they're saying is we're going to see higher costs, more scrutiny. Postal shipments will incur either duties based on origin or flat fees. And this is a little confusing. It says ranging from $80 to $200, depending on where it's coming from. I don't understand that. But basically, anything you buy from a drop shipper or directly from China or any other country, you're going to be paying a big fee to get it into the country. The idea here is that this law is meant to tax anything coming from outside of the United States so punishingly that people don't want to buy anything from overseas. That's the goal. So no idea what's going to happen at this point, but that's the news.
Oof is right.
Oof. I don't know.
Or is who played Han Solo? I can't think of his name.
Oh, Harrison Ford.
God damn it, I can't think of his name. Harrison Ford. He's in the show Shrinking, and his character in Shrinking, awesome show by the way. His character Shrinking, whenever he says something, like instead of oof, he goes woof. Whenever he doesn't like the answer or something, that's his thing.
All right, I'll start doing that. I like it.
Yeah, woof. It's good. Yeah, it's a great show. If any of you guys, it's a good one.
Okay. All right. Well, this next one, when we get to the price on it, I'll go woof.
Yeah, I'm sure. Bing! Look at that. It's good looking.
What are we looking at?
It's a new official D&D Table of Adventure.
Not a table in a book, not like numbers in a table. An actual sit-at-it table.
This is a table where it has a pull-out drawer and like a cup holders and dice tray built in. Seats 8 people. Yeah, and it's got a DM screen built into it. So it says game theory based in Las Vegas. At least it's not China, right? Has introduced a high-end, officially licensed Dungeons and Dragons gaming table. First ever co-developed D&D table. This is the first gaming table created in direct collaboration with Wizards. Because I was going to ask you what's new about this, because I've seen table after table after table, but this one is officially a D&D table.
I have no idea. I was looking at this thing over and over, trying to think what could be official about it. I mean, let's describe this thing. So I think by now most gamers have at least seen a gaming table, official gaming table, if they haven't played at one. Have you owned one?
No, I have no need for anything like this. I just use a table.
Yeah, I did.
I don't need anything like this. I don't know, but go ahead.
Well, okay, so originally, what's it? I can't even remember the name. Somebody came out with one originally that was the first one, and it was very expensive. And then a lot of other companies came along and made more affordable ones. So I got one from a Kickstarter that I was able to get a great big, like 8-foot long table for like $1,000, and it was really, really nice. It was flat packed like IKEA, but it was easy to put together. Right. It was beautiful. It was really nice. It really wasn't necessary. This one is very similar. So what it is you got a great big table that looks, like a dining room table, except the first most obvious thing, and this is what any gaming table is, they all going to do this, is that the center is sunken. It's sunken down almost like a sand table or something. Mm-hmm. And that's because this way you can put all your stuff on the table, and then let's say you have miniatures or something that you're playing with and you've set everything up, and the game ends and you want to come back to it in a week, you just put a lid on it. So now everything stays in place. You use it as a dining room table. And then when you take the top off, there's all your stuff just the way it was.
Right.
It also means, if you're throwing dice on the table, they're going to stay, all that kind of stuff. And then they usually have extra features like this one does, where you have little trays that sit at each player's place, so that they don't have to put their stuff on the table. It leaves more room free for everything. Because, when you put all your stuff on there, you can't see the game map anymore. And, cup holders and all that. And at one end, there's a little wooden gaming DM screen built into it. That's clever. So it's nicely made table with lots of little features for people who are sitting to game. But I don't have any idea what makes it a Dungeons and Dragons specific one.
Well, I could tell you, Linda the Gamer said the logo.
There you go.
You can put a logo on it.
The logo. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Linda.
That's like the only difference.
Yeah. And Brian's here in the chat saying that if you ever was going to get a table, it'd be one with a smart screen. I agree. That's a worthwhile thing. If you put a big flat screen TV underneath it so that you can put, changing terrain and all that, that would be cool. I've seen them. They're very neat.
You know who uses one of those? Jesse down in Texas, one of our retailer guys who's buying some stuff from us. He does that. He runs a game with a big TV, and he has actually remote players. He plays on screens and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's very neat. This does not have that. This does not have that. This has a logo.
Right. It has a logo on it. So there you go.
Let's see. What does it have, though? What are some features it does have?
Let's see. A deluxe customizable control station for the Dungeon Master, featuring a magnetic 3-piece screen, hidden compartments, and tailored artwork.
Okay, so it does seem like there's artwork kind of placed around the table. Okay.
And these trays that are on the side of it, they look like you can lift those out pretty easy. Like they kind of like probably slide in and drop down into place.
I would assume.
So that when you want to wrap up for the evening, like you said, if you want to play the game next week, you'll have those things sticking out. You can pull them out and set it like a normal dinner table.
Yes. I think they are called, oh my gosh, I think they're called shelves of holding.
Oh God. That's clever. That's clever.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I don't mind it.
Right.
What else we got here? Some other smart stuff, right?
Oh, there's a built-in power. The table discreetly integrates power outlets for charging laptops. That's nice.
Yep, I have that in mind. It was really nice.
Yeah. I like that. That's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said shelves of holding. Companion's roll, which I think is your dice tray. Individualized adventurer's tray, or shared companion's roll dice trays. You know what it looks like to me? I'm looking at this picture. If you guys could see anybody who's watching this live, or even after, but if you're watching this rather than listen to it, it looks like those little trays that are like little indents and stuff. It looks like you can pop them out. You can probably fold them over and flatten the table out, or there's a flat piece to put in their place, I'm willing to bet.
Yeah, it looks pretty modular. I mean, it's got a lot of neat little features. It's all kind of standard fare for a gaming table.
Right.
And like I said, the one that I bought was around $1,000. And to me, you know, a nice dining room table for $1,000 or $1,500 is reasonable, you know, because that's how much you'll spend on one if you go to kind of your typical chain discount furniture store, right?
Right.
Or well, maybe a little less, but it's not like what you'll spend on high end, you know, if you're going to Restoration Hardware or some local place that's going to charge you, you know, crazy wazoo. But I think for a gaming table, $1,200 is about where I would draw the line.
Right.
So what's this one cost?
This one costs $38.99.
Currently $38.99. That's great.
$3,800.99. Currently discounted. It's a discount, Jason. For a limited time, you can get it for $3,119 with free shipping.
Can I get it right now?
Pre-orders are open now, requiring a $1,000 deposit with shipping expected in November.
Woof.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's crazy. So they're basically saying, pay us now. I mean, actually, it's not that long till November, so that's not so bad. But pay us now $3,100 or pay us later $4,000.
Yeah.
Or don't pay us and just use your dining room table.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
There you
go. Okay.
That's what I use. All right. This one's fun. Hold on. I'm going to do that. There you go. I added some extra images. I found some more.
Nice. All right. So this one's pretty cool. I didn't know about this until this week for the story. I'm going to act like I knew all about it, but I didn't. The RPG that kicked D&D's ass in Japan and invented actual play is coming to the West. All right. So we have here Sword World. Sword World RPG created by Group SNE. This is the game that created the idea of actual play. And I'll explain what that means. So back in the day, back in the original first edition BECME D&D era, Dungeons and Dragons was a worldwide phenomenon, huge everywhere. In fact, when D&D was introduced to Japan in the 80s, I think the first one they got was the Menser Red Box. And that sold over 200,000 copies. It was going like crazy in Japan, just in line with the rest of the world. It was huge everywhere. But then by the time we got to third edition D&D, it only sold 8,000 copies. Ooh. What happened? Well, what happened was Sword World. So originally there was a big D&D scene, and there was a campaign, published campaign called Record of Lodos War.
Yeah, I remember that.
You've heard of that?
I've heard of it. Yes.
There's very, you can find the anime online. It's very famous, and it's famous for using D&D rules for this anime. Right. And so what happened was the company that was doing it, SNE, I believe, Group SNE, they wanted to work with TSR and make Record of Lodos War an official D&D thing. For whatever reason, TSR wanted nothing to do with it. I don't know why. They snubbed them. And so Group SNE was like, well, we've got this popular thing. I guess we're just going to make our own system for it. So they made their own system, and they called it Sword World. Mm-hmm. So we said that it created actual play. So what it did, and I'm acting like I know all this, like I've just known it forever, but I've actually just learned it.
Come on, genius.
Yeah, everybody's an expert on the internet, thanks to Google. Right. So they had this idea, Group SNE had this thing, and they had this idea to actually make a record of the games that were played and publish them. So they had magazines and manga novels and all those sort of things were already super popular in Japan. So they said, why don't we just take a campaign that's been played and write it up as a story, exactly as it happened, and we'll publish it in these magazines. And they called it the TRPG Replay. format.
Okay.
So tabletop role-playing game replay. And it was literally just an actual play of what happened. But, because it's the 80s, you couldn't make a podcast out of it or a Twitch stream. So they published it in a magazine. And it was huge. It went crazy. They ended up making it into a series of books eventually. And those series of books at this point, the Record of Lodoss War TRPG books, have sold over 10 million copies.
Ooh, wow.
They've made it into the Tabletop Gaming Hall of Fame as the creator of the replay genre. And the replay genre ended up sort of evolving into what's called light novel genre. I had to look that up. It's specific to Japan. It's a lot like YA fiction, like young adult fiction here, but with more illustrations.
Okay.
So not quite manga, because it's not a full graphic novel, but also not just straight YA fiction. It's got all of the illustrations and everything in it. Yeah.
I do remember when I was younger. I guess I'm sure they still make them, but I had several books that it was kind of like half graphic novel, half like novel. Like, so there was a lot of writing, but there's also a lot of art to go with it. So it was just like a very, very illustrated novel.
Yeah, that's what they basically created with all of this. And so Sword World started to dominate because they made a game that wasn't just an alternative to D&D, but one that obviously was better for Japan anyways. Right. So they created a system called the 2D6 system. Now, it's a little complicated to me, but I'm sure if I ever played it, because everybody says it's super easy to understand, but the thing I don't quite get is there's this thing called a rating table. So each roll of 2D6 then gets translated on this table that goes across like 0 to 50, and you look up where something I don't really understand, but apparently it works really well.
Okay.
The original system it was very close to D&D. It had not 10 classes. It had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 9 classes. It had you could be a bard, a fighter, a priest, ranger, a sage, a shaman. Is it shaman or shaman?
It depends on who you're asking.
No idea. I don't know. A sorcerer or a thief. And then the races were very close to D&D. Human, dwarf, elf, half-elf, and a grass runner, which is like a halfling or a hobbit. They just called them grass runners.
Okay, interesting.
And so the game's really evolved since then. So 1989, they launched the game because basically Record of Lodoss War couldn't be published as a D&D thing, so they published it as their own Sword World thing.
Yeah.
Then by 1996, they'd been making so many different things that they sort of compiled it all together into a thing called Sword World RPG Complete Edition. And I think that was kind of like TSR's what was the book that's so great that everybody loves? I have a copy and I've forgotten what it's called.
Unearthed Arcana or something like that?
No, from the basic edition. So there was one big compendium of all the basic rules to that point. And it starts with a C, and I just can't remember it right now. Anyways, it's sort of a similar idea there, a big compendium. And so by 1997, Sword World was the market leader. They were the ones that were selling everything. And then by 2002, things started to go down a little bit. So you have collectible card games are really starting to dominate, right? And at that point, they launched a thing called Sword World Card RPG.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
I never played it. I just remember this stuff.
Okay. And then, things kind of went down everywhere around the world. RPGs kind of started taking a backseat to card games and video games and things like that. So by 2008, they did Sword World 2.0 to kind of revitalize it. And then 10 years later, they did Sword World 2.5, which is where we are today. That was 2018. And now in 2025, they're now localizing it and bringing it to the United States and Europe and places like that.
Awesome.
So,
except for the friggin' tariffs.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe if they print it here, I really don't know.
Why not?
I don't know. But now 2.5 looks like they've really gone in their own direction. I mean, it's been 30, 40 years. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. But so now Use 23 different classes. I'm not going to read them all, but there's like a bunch of different warrior types like battle dancer and grappler and fencer and marksman. There's a lot of different types of wizards. There's an abyss gazer, conjurer, demon taber, magitechnician.
Magitech, neat. Okay.
Fairy
like a technomancer, right? Probably.
Yeah, probably. A fairy tamer. That sounds really cool.
I like that. That sounds cool.
And you can also play a lot of other things like alchemists and dark hunters and tacticians and geomancer. I don't even know what that is. So completely built it, a whole new world. Even magic, there's 7 different types of magic, and each one has its own unique language for casting spells. So I've never seen the game. I've never played it, but I'm very excited about it. It's currently the second best. I think it's the second best selling game in Japan. Call of Cthulhu's number one.
Number one. Yeah, we already talked about that. Yeah, right.
It just rules. But Sword World has sold over 400,000 copies, so that's pretty good in a small country.
Yeah.
And so the actual play thing, of course, they created that idea. It just looks amazing. And so now apparently there have been fan translations of the game before, but you're not going to get far with that, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to buy the PDF for sure to check it out.
Yeah, so here we go. An official English release is on the horizon. Don't know the date, but coming very soon, and very cool.
I found some more image. I put up some more images. I found some cool images. This artwork is fantastic. If you're watching live, it's 2 other magazines.
Yeah.
One of them's another version of the game. Has a woman in this really cool, like very like Japanese inspired art, like almost surrealistic sort of.
I wouldn't say Japanese inspired. It probably just is. I mean, it's Japan.
Well, no. I mean, it's kind of cross between what you would see like Mobius sort of like. But
yeah, so you're showing 2 images.
It's kind of like a fusion.
Yeah. The one on the left, that one appeals to me. I see what you're saying. The one on the right just looks like anime or manga.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yep.
That's not. I don't like that sort of stuff. But
I like the one on the left though. That's badass.
But I mean, if you think about how big the anime scene is with nerds in the United States,
it's ridiculous
and
huge.
The fact that Wizards has never done anything to tap into that here, or if they have, they've done something I don't know about.
They've done it terribly if they've done it.
So if you have Sword World, the top fantasy RPG in Japan, coming to the United States and doing this, I think we're about to see a lot of Sword World players.
That's cool. I mean, manga overtook comics in the United States, right?
Did it?
Oh yeah. More manga is sold in the United States than American comic books.
Huh.
It overtook it a couple years ago.
It's fine. Like I said, it's not my thing, but I understand, that in Japan, it's not like a kid's thing or a nerd thing. It's just everybody buys it. And there's, I guess, even manga for like, mysteries and cooking shows and who knows, so, yeah, it's mainstream there. It's nerdy here, but you never know.
Certainly cooking shows. I mean, I've seen several, like I haven't watched several, but I've seen several cooking anime, like there's Delicious in Dungeon, which I really liked. I'm not the biggest anime fan at all. I like some of them, but I'm very picky. But I watched Delicious in Dungeon because I like cooking. I love cooking. I love food so much. I'm a foodie. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to check it out. And I really liked it. I mean, it's got some of the silly stuff in it that I don't like, but that's like kind of here and there a little bit. And then if I just don't worry about that, I really like the show.
Well, I think Sword World my prediction is going to become a major force because, I know that there's an endless amount of fantasy games out there. I think Daggerheart is going to be a flash in the pan.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a big flash in the pan.
A lot of people are going to get into it right away. And I don't see it having long-term impact. I mean, this is very surface level thinking, but I think sometimes that's not the wrong way to think. The name of a game makes a huge difference. It's got to be something that's memorable and feels big. Dungeons and Dragons is memorable and feels big. Even Castles and Crusades, even Pathfinder is a good, easy thing to remember. Daggerheart, I keep having to remember what the heck that is. Sword World, you can't get simpler than that. No, it's a world of swords. That's great. Take me to the Sword World. Easy. Solid. I think that's good.
I don't. You know what's killing me is the name. Kelsey's game, Dark.
Hold
Shadow Dark.
on.
Shadow Dark.
Thank you, Shadow Dark.
But again, that name does not stick with me. I don't know why. I don't know. I always have to think about that name.
It's not too hard for me until you just said that right now. It caused me to little brain fart. But
Right.
I mean, we'll see. Shadow Dark has got some momentum. We'll see if it's another Morkborg where it lasts a while and then gets supplanted. But
We'll see.
But Sword World, I mean, it's going to have some serious money behind it. So,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Yeah, let's.
Boing.
Boing.
All right,
you're doing it.
Is this me? Okay, so from Bell of Souls, that's a website that we often pull news from.
We like
this week's 5e compatible RPG. So apparently every week they put out a compilation of stuff that's compatible to 5e because 5e is the biggest thing in the gaming industry. So they had some notable ones and they were pretty cool. So we decided to put these up because I mean we don't generally do this sort of thing, but it was actually pretty cool. So this first one is the Pirate Queen's Wrath, which is a nautical themed 5e adventure featuring, I'm going to mess these names up, Dathrian Veilshroud. I think I got that
it's a completely made up name, so you can pronounce it however you want. I would just say Dathrian, you say Dathrian. They're both made up.
Sure. A legendary pirate captain cursed to awaken every decade. So
I hate that when I wake up every decade.
I guess she goes to sleep. Her crew made a pact with this one.
Take a guess. What do you think? Go on.
I'm working at Zil-Alf.
I was going to say Xylauth, but
Xylauth?
Xylauth, whatever. Xilauth, totally made up.
Right. A wrathful deity, and now roam the seas seeking redemption.
Sure.
Offers oceanic exploration, supernatural threats, and treasure hunting excitement. And what's good about this is that there have been quite a few sea settings for like 5e or D&D. Lou Agresta did the what was it? Oh god damn it. Now I can't think of it. It was really good. He did a whole pirate, like a whole thing for like D&D pirates and stuff.
Okay.
But there's been several over the years, and this probably could plug right into those with all those rules and stuff.
I love nautical adventures. Yeah, sounds fun. Yeah, sounds fun. Looks good.
Yeah. And then still as part of this, oh wait a minute, I had 2 images of that. I did. Okay. I didn't mean to do that, but all right, well, I did that. All right, so it's made by Voltaic Overdrive. Now, these are
That's
all
a cool name. Okay, I'm just going to say right now, Voltaic Overdrive is an awesome name.
Cool logo too. I like that.
Love it.
These are all like none of these are very big things. These are things like they're all on drive-through. You can go get them.
Cool indie stuff.
Yeah, if you go to Bell of Souls,
throw some money to your cool indie creators.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next one is the Strange and Wondrous Potions. And I like this a lot because for 2 reasons. First off, what it gives you, and then secondly, like the rules that go along with it. So you can craft like crazy potions, not just the ones they have, but you can actually craft.
Oh, you make your own.
Yeah, so there's it's packed with quirky and unpredictable potions because potions are always fun. Designed to add chaos, humor, and narrative twists to gameplay. This would be perfect for there's players who are just like find a potion, like I drink it. Okay. Yes. 50 plus original potions with bizarre and flavorful effects. Examples include sneezing bees, body swapping. Oh, that'd be hilarious. And temporary pig transformation.
Awesome. I don't know what sneezing bees would be, but I love it already.
Yeah, I mean, if it does what you say or what it says by the name, that would be hilarious. Person starts sneezing and bees come out of their name.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That could actually be useful if you did it on purpose.
Yes, it could be. Including optional rules for mishaps and magical backfires, brew tables, rarity tags, and DM-friendly tools for easy use. Written by a group here, Dark Eagle Games. Again, whimsical, dangerous, and wildly fun.
I love it. I love it. I don't know how many potion books. There must be a lot of books that have been published on potions, but whenever I think of groupings of things, I think of maybe traps, like Grimtooth's traps. I don't think about potions so much, and it makes perfect sense. And the great thing about a potion is you could give it to your players no matter how crazy it is without worrying too much about upsetting the balance because it's a limited amount.
Yeah, the potions, it's gonna wear off. I mean, you're a bit of a
You're gonna run out.
You're a bit of a butthole if you give them something that's really permanent.
Yeah. I mean, it should be things that wear off, and also it should be something where maybe there's 2 or 3 doses in the bottle.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even think about this until you were just saying like traps and stuff. It would be funny to put some put potions in traps. So like you step on a plate and a bottle drops. Like it's not like this crazy friggin' thing. It's just literally a bottle of potion drops and then the gas goes off and that's what affects them.
Yes, I love it.
All right, so then we have, let's see, that was that. And then the next one is the Constellation Descent, The Awakening. This is a 4-chapter adventure set in Radiant Ridge, a city of enchanted glass. Players investigate a fallen constellation and explore the labyrinth of pieces. Each chapter advances. What do you say? Oh, Pisces. Sorry. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm just saying it fell, and I'm thinking pieces. My brain did the thing.
It should fall into pieces. It should fall into pieces.
It fell into Pisces. So it's the labyrinth of Pisces. Each chapter advances characters by 1 level and unfolds a cosmic mystery. Sounds really cool.
Oh, and they've got some little 3D STL files you can download.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing. I was looking at this, and I didn't realize it at first. And then I was reading through it, and it said STLs are not included in the title. You can purchase them separately from our stores. Like, oh, so they actually have STLs. So if you do 3D printing,
I like this idea of. I mean, that could really become a thing for most people. If you have your act together enough to be able to get some cool miniatures sculpted for your adventure, you should always make a few.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about experimenting with some STLs soon.
Nice.
Okay. Out, but, all
right. So that's cool. What else we got?
And then there are 2 more. So there's the Infinite Labyrinth Volume 2. There is a Volume 1, by the way. I looked. That
would make sense.
Yes, that's why I went to make sure. But yeah, I did look it up. And it's basically the same thing as this. This is just like part 2. It's a modular dungeon filled with puzzles, hazards, and encounters. So get the potion book and then get the puzzle, hazards, and encounters book, and now you got a whole bunch of stuff.
So is the idea here, since it's the infinite labyrinth, is it sort of generative?
Well, they
say modular dungeons.
It's modular, so yeah, I'm gonna assume it is.
Just mix and match, do lots of things.
Well, because it says it's GM friendly design, perfect for mega dungeons, planar excursions, and one-shot thrills, ideal for integrating into existing campaigns or running as a standalone channel. So yes, it's probably one of those things where like you have a chunk and you can just put them all together any way you want to, or something like that. Has encounters such as blending puzzles, exploration, social, and combat elements. 10 brand new chambers, each fully Oh, I get it. Okay, so Volume 1 had 10 chambers. This has 10 more. I'm willing to bet this is a series. They're going to keep making these, and you'll be able to have chamber, and then you'll be able to plug them all together. Okay.
You add up your infinities.
Yeah. And they come with danger ratings with stars to guide you for prep and pacing. So, it's like, this is a 4-star monster, what is it? 10 out of 10 would not recommend is what my wife likes to say. I keep telling her that's backwards, but
I like it anyway.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is 100 unexpected children to meet in a village.
I love this title.
I got to tell you, at first when I read that, I was like, what the hell? But then you're right. Given some thought, I was like, no, this is actually really cool. So basically, I'm gonna read you their blurb here.
Please.
It says, happy children light up an often dreary world. Uncanny children give travelers goosebumps. Pitiful children melt even the sternest adventurer's heart, inspiring them to take on heroic or hopeless quests. So that is absolutely true. You take and put a child in an adventure as a motivator, and I can't think of anything to motivate people better.
Sure.
Or it should. If you're a human being, it should motivate you more than anything.
Maybe other than motivate me.
Maybe a kitty cat might motivate more, but you never know.
But they're not going to say as much to you.
Sure. Roll to discover an unexpected child for your players to encounter, or pick a child from the list and add special touch to an ordinary village scene. So
That's
there's,
really good. It could
yeah,
get very creepy, very Children of the Corn,
it could.
or it could get. I mean, what was the Twilight Zone episode with the child that everybody wanted to make sure they never said anything mean to?
Oh yeah, that kid. Yeah, I don't remember the episode, but
They're
I
like,
remember
"Oh,
the
you're a
episode.
good boy. Yes,
I
you're
don't
a
remember
very
the
good
name.
boy."
He was like the Beyonder. He could make anything happen.
Yeah,
So
that
they
was.
treat
Oh
him
my.
well.
So that to this day it gives me chills just
Yeah,
thinking about that one.
I think that was a commentary on like the fact that children are different, or like you got to be careful. You know, children are very different than adults, obviously, but in many ways. But in one particular way is they don't understand consequences. Like they haven't learned, what things lead to. Like a child would innocently like wish somebody dead because they don't like them, because they don't understand the consequences of
Right.
what that
Right.
means, right? Whereas an adult would think at least twice or three times about that, at least normal adults, not crazy ones.
Well, yes, we know plenty of adults who act like children.
Yes, right, exactly. So anyway, yeah, that's really cool. So you get 100 unique child characters, includes uncanny, cheerful, and mysterious personalities to enrich village scenes, encourages customizations for species, quirks, and magical traits. So you can have, it also includes like, other race children. And I think this is great because you get all these NPCs for games. You can buy like a zillion books with NPCs and stuff in them. They're never children. So this closes that little gap. So I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's great. It's really good. And lots of opportunities for very fairy tale themed stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
because it doesn't have to be a real child, does it?
Oh, that's true. I was just thinking the child says, "My friends have been, put in an oven by a witch."
Right.
Like that. Right. All right. Well, these are great. These are some great 5e things to try out.
All right. Let's wrap this one up on a really positive note.
All right. Dungeons and Dragons is now in its stadium era. Oh my gosh. Okay. So D&D this was an NPR story. So like you said, if
that's a big deal.
Makes it to NPR, you know that it's gotten big. It's kind of like the New York Times. By the time a fad is represented in the New York Times, it's 8 years old. So here on NPR, they have been talking about this idea that D&D was a niche tabletop game and it's a major phenomenon. We know that. That's true. Right. And that actual play shows have gained millions of fans online. We know that. That's true. Critical Role has become a phenomenon. Mm-hmm. And so now we have this group, Dimension 20. Now, I will confess that I don't know the different groups. I don't know, my Critical Role from my Dimension 20 from my whoever else. But what was interesting to me was in a work meeting last week, we were having a little bit of chit chat, trying to occasionally talk off, not about work. And two people started talking about this Dimension 20 show that they were into. Neither one of them is a gamer. Neither one of them has ever played D&D, but they were hooked on this Dimension 20 game.
Really?
And they were talking about all the characters, and then it was like they were discussing a soap opera. Wow. And what's interesting is both of these people were like, "Yeah, maybe I will play D&D sometime. Who knows?" And it just, I can't tell you the number of times that I've had, because I work remotely, so we all see each other's homes on our cameras. The number of people that I would have never expected that end up having like 5 ebooks sitting on a shelf behind them. It's impressive. It's anecdotal, but it's impressive. So Dimension 20 decided to do a live show, and they sold out Madison Square effing Garden.
Get the Christ. All right. Wow.
20,000 fans. We're looking at a picture here right now that they had some pyrotechnics going on. They had flames shooting up. I mean, it looks like a Rammstein concert.
Yeah, it does.
It's just massive. So here's the deal. Brennan Lee Mulligan launched Dimension 20 in 2018. So that was 7 years ago on a platform called Dropout. That, again, I don't know. I'm so out of it. And they're blending fantasy, comedy, teen drama, millions of views on YouTube. So the NPR also mentioned Critical Role and the Adventure Zone.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know the Adventure Zone, but I've heard of them. You know, and we've had everything from graphic novels to animated series like The Legend of Vox Machina and all that.
Good series. Didn't think I would like it either, but I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Oh, I was like, oh, it's you know, like I'm not really big into lit RPG, right? I have
we
a
talked about that.
very picky about. I got one that I like, but this is basically kind of like, I mean, mind you, it's all scripted and stuff, but it's like lit anime, basically American anime. So I'm like, I don't know. And I had several friends like, dude, try it. You'll like it. It's good. It's good. We like it. Right. And I'm like, all right. No, I'm picky. So I started watching and I like it. I mean, I don't love it. It's not like if they cancel it, I'm not going to cry about it. But every time they come out with a new season, I watch it. So it's decent. It's
nice.
It's entertaining.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm impressed. All right. Oops, hold on. My cat is trying to knock over the laptop. He's kicking it right now. We're fighting for control. I'm like, put it back. No, put it back. Stop kicking. He's really, if you're watching right now, my camera's moving because a 20-pound cat is fighting me for control. I'm losing.
I want to be on film.
I'm absolutely losing. Okay, fine. This is what happens if you don't pan. Do you see how the camera's moving?
I do. Yeah.
This is Franklin. He is taken over cameraman now. He's in charge. Right. Oh, now wait, he's okay. Stop. Yeah. So back to this D&D, all this kind of stuff, live shows, 20,000 people in Madison Garden. According to NPR, D&D is at an all-time high in popularity with an estimated 85 million people playing it.
Crazy.
Actual play shows are credited with driving this growth and inspiring new players to start their own groups. So there you go. Good job, Actual Play. It's absolutely a golden age. It's a point where, okay, so I, Reddit.
Yes.
The website, right? Yes. Very popular.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And Reddit used to be the competitor to a website called dig.com.
That's your favorite.
That was my favorite, and it went away. And so Dig is coming back with the original founder, Kevin Rose, and also Alex, I can't pronounce his last name, one of the founders of Reddit. So I'm in the beta while everybody's talking about what are we going to do for Dig. Very huge, mainstream thing. And one of the biggest votes right now is, can we please get a community just for tabletop RPGs?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's taken over as a huge mainstream thing. It's just, and I love it. I think a lot of it, this is completely my hypothesis. I don't know if any of this is true, but my hypothesis is that from everything I've heard from, people who have kids of that age, there's a huge Gen Alpha and Gen Z backlash to this permanently digital everything world.
Yeah, there is.
They're never going to just say like, I don't want anything digital ever again, but people crave authentic live experiences. They crave connection with human beings. And I really think that's why tabletop RPGs are seeing such a renaissance, because people just want to actually do something with their friends.
Well, there's something tangible about the physical. I mean, like, you can't touch a digital thing. You can watch it. It's very passive. But if you actually attend, a session with other people and you're interacting, the same thing with the CDs and tapes and freaking albums are all coming back. My daughter, she won't do audiobooks at all. She only wants to read. She reads like crazy. She loves to read, but she will only read books. She refuses. Yeah. She's 16. She refuses to do anything digital. She wants
good for her. Good for her.
And reads it. And that's not because my wife or I told her to, because I do audiobooks for the most part, and so does my wife. My wife uses her Kindle to read. Our daughter is just like, she's doing this is all on her own. This is not influenced by us at all.
That's I love the backlash. I love it. Yeah. And here we have 20,000 people that could have very easily just watched an actual play on Twitch, but they chose to go to Madison Square Garden, pay money to go and sit in the seats and watch this happen live.
So I have a theory. I have a theory about this. I think it's because people hadn't been exposed to this. I think there was a, as there was a stigma to it for years and years because it was the new thing and it was weird and the whole demon devil thing and all that, right? Blah, blah, blah. So it's finally managed to get into the public eye to where everybody can kind of see it. But people, I mean, every bit of entertainment, if you look at any form of entertainment, I mean, I'm sure there's some that there's got to be one or two that I'm not thinking of that aren't, but I think every form of entertainment is storytelling, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. How could, yeah. I mean, other than
Songs are
sports,
storytelling.
you know what? I said other than sports, but sports at the end of it, you tell the story of what happened.
Yeah, it's kind of storytelling, right? A
Well,
thing
I mean,
happens.
look, I was just watching do you know about the Immaculate Reception?
That
It
sounds
was this
familiar.
legendary play that happened in 1972 with the Steelers versus the Raiders, and the Raiders were about to win. There were 5 seconds left. Terry Bradshaw throws a pass at the very last second, barely gets it off. It bounces off somebody's head, and they figure the game's over. And then Franco Harris, out of nowhere, picks up the ball in the air, runs it in for the touchdown. Steelers win. Madness descends. And there's been controversy to this day, like, did it bounce off the defender or the offense guy? Because that makes a difference. Did Franco Harris actually catch it, or did he scoop it off the ground? Did this other guy commit a foul? There's all this. People have been arguing about it for 50 years. There was even a what's his name? I don't know. One of the most famous quarterbacks today got all the old guys together from the 70s and tried to recreate it, you know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it's become this thing that's a legend, that's a story. And that's not the kind of thing where you just say who won the game. There's legends and there's lore and there's storytelling around what happens after the sports event. Just like when you play D&D, you might not be writing you shouldn't be writing the story ahead of time as players. You're just going to go play it. But when it's over, it's storytelling. You tell the story of what you did in your D&D game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What makes it so, I think makes it so interesting to people is that this is a story that no one could predict at all. You couldn't possibly predict it because it's you have people are co-telling this story. So it's not just a storyteller, it's a team of people telling a story and making it up in the moment. It's improv. And so I think that is the appeal. I think there's a human nature appeal to this.
Yeah, and this is something, as we enter into a world of AI everything, this is something that AI is not going to take. You're not going to replace the players with AI. I mean, you could theoretically, you could replace everybody, but who would care?
Who would care, right? Yeah.
Who would care about it, Yeah,
so, the AI can't do the dumb shit that players do, right?
Yeah, it might be able to, but we don't want to see it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of the last refuge of humanity, if we want to get dramatic about it, We
will be saved by role playing.
Well, it makes me think of in the book Fahrenheit 451, when books were forbidden overall, and so the way that people saved humanity was by memorizing. Each person would be a living book. They would memorize the book. There's always that moment of humanity saying, how are we going to fight back against the clankers?
Right.
And so, I think in some ways people are seeing this as a way of just sort of reasserting our humanity.
Well, if you think about like some of the most beloved texts in the world, the religious texts like Bibles and such, they're all Bibles really, but you know what I mean? Different forms of the Bible. Most of those were stories before they were ever written down.
Yeah. No, it's all stories. If there's anything that humans are, and people love to say like, what separates humans from the animals or whatever it might be, and every one of those things eventually gets knocked down. It turns out that all animals do what we do in everything except for one, and that's storytelling. That's the one place. That's the one thing that makes us unique is our storytelling.
Able to pass on knowledge. That is the one thing. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you were the one that told me that if octopuses ever learned to tell stories, that we're all screwed.
We're screwed. Well, good.
Yes.
I like octopuses. Yes. They should.
Well, no, I think they should take over. Good job, octopi.
They should have their moment.
Yeah. All right.
So
I've got
is there anything else to
moments.
This?
I've got a fellow here who's trying to take over my moments. So maybe this is our last story.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that is it.
Okay. All right. Well, this was a good one this week. Thanks everybody for following us and hanging out and tuning in, and for subscribing to us and liking us and leaving us reviews, and especially joining our Patreon and our Facebook group. And those of you who are Patreon subscribers in the paid tiers can join us in the after party over at Discord.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. See you later, Scott, Linda, Brian, everyone who showed up. Talk to you
Thanks,
all
everybody. See
next
you next
week.
week.